I never thought I'd be the one writing something like this, but life has a way of blindsiding you when you least expect it. My dad passed away last year after a long fight with heart disease. He was only in his early 60s, but his health had been declining for a while. The last couple of years were hard on all of us, but especially on my mom, who was his primary caregiver. My sister and I tried to step in and help where we could, but the truth is, Mom did most of the heavy lifting. When he finally passed, it felt like a relief mixed with grief. Relief that he wasn't suffering anymore, and grief that he was just gone. I thought the hardest part would be learning how to live without him. I was wrong. A couple of weeks after the funeral, my mom told us that my dad's lawyer wanted to meet with us about his will. I figure it was standard stuff, dividing up the house, his savings, the car, sentimental things like his watch collection and his old guitar. Dad wasn't a wealthy man, but he was the kind of person who planned ahead. He worked hard his whole life and made sure my mom would be taken care of. What I didn't expect was that sitting down in that lawyer's office would flip my whole world upside down. The lawyer went through the normal details at first. My mom was left the house and most of his accounts, as expected. My sister and I were each left smaller amounts, plus a few personal items. Then the lawyer got quiet, looked at his papers, and said there was one unusual request in the will. Dad had asked that before any final division of assets happened, a DNA test be carried out for both me and my sister. He wrote that he had his reasons and that it was important to him that the truth be known after he was gone. I remember my mom's face going completely white when those words came out. My sister laughed nervously and said something like, "What the hell, Dad? That's a weird prank." I sat there frozen. The lawyer explained that we didn't have to comply legally, but if we didn't, some parts of the will wouldn't be distributed the way they were written. It was clear Dad had been serious about it. At first I thought maybe he just wanted peace of mind, like some paranoid thought had been eating at him near the end. We agreed to do the tests mostly to honor his wishes, even though it felt bizarre. A couple weeks later we got the results. I'll never forget opening that envelope. My hands were shaking so badly, I could barely hold the paper. My results came back exactly as expected. I was his son, no question. Then I looked at my sister's results and felt like the air got sucked out of the room. She was not his biological daughter. My sister burst into tears the second she saw it. She kept saying there had to be some mistake. Maybe the test was wrong. Mom started sobbing too, but it wasn't the kind of cry that comes from shock. It was the kind that comes from guilt. And that's when she admitted it. She had known all along. My sister's father wasn't my dad. She said it happened before they were married, that it was a brief thing she thought she had put behind her. She claimed she truly believed Dad was the father until the truth became clear early in the pregnancy, and by then she had already decided she wanted Dad to raise her. She said he found out years later, but never confronted her in front of us. According to her, he promised to love my sister as his own no matter what, but he carried that knowledge silently until the end. I felt like the floor had collapsed under me. My entire childhood memories of us as a family, all the times Dad called us his kids, all the holidays and milestones, they suddenly felt fragile. Not fake, but tainted by this secret he carried. I couldn't stop replaying little moments in my head, wondering if I had missed signs. Did he treat us differently? Did he ever look at my sister and feel pain instead of pride? My sister was devastated. She and my dad had always been incredibly close. If anything, she was the favorite. He went to all her school plays, helped her with homework, coached her soccer team. She was Daddy's little girl through and through. Now she keeps asking me if it was all a lie, if his love for her was real or just an act. I keep telling her that I know it was real, because if it hadn't been, he never would have stayed, never would have raised her, never would have fought for our family all those years. But the doubt in her eyes kills me. As for me, I'm angry. Not at my dad. I admire him even more now, honestly. He carried that secret with so much grace. I'm angry at my mom. 35 years of lies. She watched us grow up, watched Dad raise a child that wasn't biologically his, and never once came clean. I understand people make mistakes, but this wasn't just a mistake. This was a choice she made every single day for 3.5 decades. She robbed Dad of the chance to decide for himself how to handle the truth in the open. She robbed my sister of the chance to know her biological father. And she robbed me of a family built on honesty. Conversations with Mom since then have been tense. She keeps begging us to understand that she was scared and young and thought she was protecting everyone. She says she loved Dad and didn't want to lose him. She insists that we are still a family, that biology doesn't erase the years we've shared. Part of me knows she's right about that last part, but another part of me can't forgive her yet. Every time I look at her, I just see the person who shattered our foundation with her silence. I don't know what to do with all this. My sister is struggling more than I am because for her it's an identity crisis. She doesn't know who her real father is, and Mom refuses to give much detail. Just vague comments about someone she knew briefly before marrying Dad. She says she doesn't even know where he is now, which might be true, but it still feels like another layer of hiding. My sister wants to find him, even just to know where she comes from. I want that for her too, but I also know it might not give her the closure she's looking for. Meanwhile, I find myself grieving Dad all over again. Not just his death, but the weight of what he must have carried. The strength it must have taken to keep loving and providing and smiling, even with that betrayal hanging over him. I wish I could ask him how he did it, how he found forgiveness, how he managed to move forward. All I can do now is try to honor the love he showed us by not letting this tear us apart. But it's so damn hard. Sometimes I catch myself wanting to yell at Mom, to tell her she destroyed everything. Other times I feel guilty for being so harsh because I know she's human and humans mess up. I swing between fury and sadness every day. My sister and I lean on each other a lot now. It's brought us closer in some ways because we're the only two who really understand what it feels like to be blindsided like this. I don't know what the future holds. I don't know if I'll ever look at my mom the same way again. I don't know if my sister will find the answer she's looking for. All I know is that my dad was more of a man than I ever realized, and that love can exist even in the middle of secrets and lies. But damn, the truth hurts in a way I never imagined.